What's going on, everyone? Today in the backwoods, we're talking chainsaws. Okay guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Stihl Ms 362C. I'm gonna, get into the saw a little bit. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. There's not much that I don't like about it. It's a pretty good saw. It has its limits, but it's been a good saw for me. I've had it for about 3 years and it seems to be holding up fine. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll see you guys when we're at the wood yard, and we'll do some cutting, and I'll show you it in action. So there they are, 3 MS 362s and an MS 361. The old boy. That has some hours on it. She's definitely tired, but I thought I'd bring it out and show you guys anyways, so you can take a look at it next to the newer models. All these three are MS 362Cs, and they're also the CM version. I don't know why they don't put the M on the case, but they don't. I guess maybe because nowadays they're all M-tronic. But yeah, so all these saws have the M-tronic carburetor. They don't have these tuning screws here for the carburetor, which some people like that, some people don't. I personally don't mind it. The M-tronic seems to do a good job of keeping the engine humming at the right RPM, and I don't know, it seems to be well controlled. So, but I'm sure a bunch of guys are gonna get in the comments and say, oh no, you gotta do it by ear or do it by sound. Well, you guys can tune your carburetors, I'll keep cutting. So one of these saws is mine, one is my brother's, and one is my brother's from another mother. I'm just borrowing this saw. I use this one all the time too, though. These saws have run a lot of hours. They put a lot of hours in, especially this one. This is the this one. This is the first one we got. This is the second one we got, and then that was the third one we got shortly after. But this one has definitely put in the most hours. It is a, let's see here, does it say what year it is? I thought they say the year on them. Oh, 2018, and that is a 2019, and that's a 2019 as well. So yeah, this one definitely has the most hours on it. It's the oldest, and it's the one I use the most. So I don't know if you can see that there, but the saw is a 59cc saw. It's pretty good. It does pretty well in the bush. They're great saws. They're really light. Once you start getting up into the 60cc and higher, the saws start getting quite a bit heavier and are not as easy to carry through the bush, not as easy to maneuver in tight places. So I think this is a great saw for in the bush. Although it is underpowered when it comes to cutting bigger trees. It can fell pretty good trees, it's bucking it up that really takes the time, yeah, that's where you really need the power, is when you're just cutting logs, but this saw does the job. It is a good saw. It's a great saw for a homesteader. If all you're doing is cutting 5 to 10 bush cords a year, these saws are more than enough, in my opinion. Okay, so also I wanted to mention about these saws. Since we've had them, I guess since 2018 through 2019, we have never had to take these in to the shop. There has never been any problems with them. Well, actually, sorry, I shouldn't say that. This one right here, the oldest one, for some reason it jammed up one day, and I thought that the block was jammed, like the piston was seized or something. But I took it in because it was beyond my capabilities. I took it in, and they basically just cleaned it and told me that something was jammed, and they charged me a cleaning fee, and that was it. But other than that, these saws have never had any problems. I haven't broken any parts. I haven't had any issues with them running, starting, or any of that stuff. So yeah, I did want to mention that because that's a huge factor, right? Reliability. When you're talking about, you know, homesteading or farming, or if you're going to live off grid, or your choices and tools are very important, right? So these saws definitely are reliable. You can see this one's had a little bit of a rough life. It had a tree dropped on it, broke that, and then another tree dropped on it, broke the handle, but we replaced the handle for $5, maybe $8 or something like that. But yeah, I didn't want to spend I think it was $100 on the cowling, so we just super glued it. And also, when that happened, it must have popped off the release valve button. So we talked to them about ordering just the button, but we'd have to order the whole valve. So that was like $100. So we don't really care. We just leave the button off. It still works. Okay, guys. So what do I think about these saws? I think they're a good saw. I think they're a little bit small for somebody like me, but I think for your average homesteader or your average property owner who would maybe cut 5-10 bush cords a year, you know, they want a saw that they can go out into the bush and cut a tree down, you know, a decent sized tree. I think they're a great saw for that. For me, we cut a lot of wood here. We are definitely gonna have to upgrade from these saws very shortly. And yeah, you know what, they're great for saws. I'm gonna keep these saws because they are great for out in the bush. You know, you throw them in the back of your ATV. You can sling them through the bush pretty easily. They'll cut pretty much any size tree that we're cutting, you know, up to a couple of feet, 3 feet, you know, something like that. We have a 20-inch bar on it, so you know, we could cut a 40-inch tree if we had to. But yeah, I think they're a good saw, and for the money, for the price, they're definitely a good saw. But yeah, we definitely will be upgrading our saw very shortly. I can't wait to show you guys that. That'll be good. But for now, let's take one of these saws down. I'm gonna put a sharp chain on one, and we're gonna head down to the wood pile, and I'm gonna cut up some big wood that I have that's too big to go onto the processor. So let's head down over there right now. Okay, so these are the logs that we're gonna be cutting today. They are the reject logs, the ones that are too big to go onto our processor, or sometimes they're just too curvy or too knotty, and we don't want to deal with it on the processor. But yeah, so let's we're gonna grab the 362 and see what she can do. Okay, so starting procedure for this saw is pretty simple. You put the choke all the way down by holding the trigger and pushing it all the way down, then release the trigger, then release the choke. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is hit the compression valve, which this is a small saw, not everyone needs to, but why not? Because you don't want to jerk and hit your knee or something like that, right? Okay, and then after that, it should start on a cold day. It could take up to, you know, 7, 8, 10 pulls maybe, and on a nice warm day you might get it in 3, 4 pulls on the first one. And then after that, once you have a warm saw, you still have to put the choke on but you won't have to pull as many times. You still need to choke almost every time you're starting, unless your saw was running within a minute. Okay, so I'll give it a couple pulls and you'll see a cold start. Okay, once it's running, you want to leave the choke on for probably about 10 seconds. Okay, and then just take the trigger and let your saw warm up. Okay. Okay guys, well there you have it. There's the MS362C in action, cutting decent size silver maple and some nice ash there. I think it did a pretty good job. It's definitely a little bit underpowered. But you know what, if you're just a homeowner or a homesteader or something like that, like these are great saws. These saws will definitely be all you need for, you know, if you cut 5 to 10 bush cords a year, you don't need anything bigger than that. If you wanted a bigger bar, you could put the 24-inch bar on it, but we run the 20-inch bar because it's more powerful with a smaller bar. Okay guys, so hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We got lots more videos coming. I'm gonna be getting a new saw. We're upgrading from this saw. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of saw it is, but it's on order and it should be here within a month or two. And when it comes out, I'll do a little unboxing, a little review on that. And yeah, so hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll see you on the next one.